Hello everyone, welcome to this lesson. In today's session we are going to tackle Surds. Okay, so I have these questions with me here from 2019 and 2020 exam. Simplify that, it is a Surd, and also from 2018 to 2019 simplify that is also a Surd. So let's understand few things here even before we can answer this question. Let's try to understand what Surds are. Okay, so let's begin looking at Surds. What are Surds? So basically, Surds are numbers or values in form of square roots. Okay. For example, when you have square root of 2, that is a Surd. Square root of 3, square root of 8, all those values. Okay. So before we can go any further, let's try to look at some of the laws we can use. Okay, let's understand some of the laws of Surds. So when you have, let's say, square root of a, you're multiplying by square root of a. When you're multiplying Surds of the same kind, the value is just the value in the square root. Okay, the answer is just the value in the square root, which is just a. So square root of a multiplied by square root of a is just a. Let's understand another thing here. What if you are dealing with addition of Surds? Let's say I have what value can I use? Maybe a square root of b plus maybe, let me use a different value, c square root of b. So the answer to this, you just say it is just a plus c. Since they have the same side, then you say multiplied by square root of b. So this is the value, or the answer rather. Let's look at another one. Let's have subtraction of Surd. Let's say we have a square root of b minus c square root of b. What will be the value? It is just a minus c in brackets, then square root of b. So basically you need to understand that. Okay, and the other thing you must appreciate about Surds is that, let's say if you have square root of a, okay, let me do this, a square root of b. Okay, so this is same as saying square root of a, you square a multiplied by b. So this is also another law. So it is very important that you understand these simple laws of Surds even before you can answer these questions. So let me give an example. What if we have square root of b 3 multiplied by square root of 3? What would be the answer? The answer is just 3, because this is same as saying 3 raised to the power half multiplied by 3 raised to the power half. When you're multiplying indices with the same bases, we just add the powers. So 3 to the power half plus half, that is just 1, and the answer is just 3. So that is where all this comes from. Let's now solve these questions. The first question we have is simplify 5 square root of 6 minus 2 square root of 24 plus that. Okay, so the other thing you must know here, is this. When you have a situation whereby, let's say you have this, okay, let's say you have square root of 4, we can express this in form of 2 square root of 2 multiplied by 2. There is no harm, because square root of 2 multiplied by 2 is just the same as square root of 4. Okay, so I wanted you to understand that. Now let's solve the first question. The first question is 5 square root of 6. Let me check it out. Okay, so it is 5 square root of 6 then minus 2 square root of 24 plus square root of 294. So we are taught to simplify this Surd. Okay, how can we simplify? So the first thing here, you must make sure that what is in the square root should be at least just 6. So you must express these values in, let's say, in multiples of 6, or let me not use multiples, but you must at least simplify all these expressions in form of square root of 6, okay? So that's what we are going to do here. So we're going to say 5 square root of 6 minus 2. This 24, you can say 6 multiplied by what? 4. Okay, this is same as saying 4 multiplied by 6. Then plus this 294. 294 can also be written as 49 multiplied by 6. It is just the same. So 5 square root of 6 minus 2, you can find the square root of 4, that is just 2. So it will come out to remain with 6 there, then plus square root of 49, that is just 7. So we're going to remain with just square root of 6. Okay, then let me wrap this part. Alright, so what am I going to have here? What we are going to have here is that 5 square root of 6, then minus 4 square root of 6, then plus 7 square root of what? 6. So according to the laws of Surds, I mentioned about that law whereby you can group what is outside. You can say 5 minus 4 plus 7, then you say, since the square root is just the same square root of 6, then you write square root of 6. This is just the same. Okay, this is just the same. You haven't done anything to make it different. So 4 minus 1, that is just 1. 5 minus 4 rather, it is just 1 plus 7, that is 8. So it will remain as 8 square root of 6, and that is the answer. We have simplified it. Okay, let's now go to the next question. The next question is square root of 27 plus square root of 75 minus square root of 108 divided by 1 minus square root of 3. Okay, so the next question is square root of 27 plus square root of 75, then minus square root of 108 over 1 minus square root of 3. So how are we going to work out this? So as we did in the previous question, we need to express this in roots of 3 at least. So we can say square root of 27 is same as square root of 9 times 3, then plus square root of 75 same as square root of 25 by 3, then minus square root of 108, we can say it is 3, or we can say 36 by 3, then everything is over 1 minus square root of 3. Okay, let me wrap the top part here. So what are we going to have? Okay, this was 9 in square root. So square root of 9, we know that is just 3. Then we're going to remain with square root of 3 in brackets, square root of 3 there, plus square root of 25, we know that is just a 5. We remain with square root of 3. Then square root of 36, we know that is just a 6. We remain with square root of 3. Then over 1 minus square root of 3. Okay, so what you're going to have basically is, we can group this. So this will be 3 plus 5 according to the rules of Surds minus 6. Then we say multiply by square root of 3. Okay, everything over 1 minus square root of 3. Then this can also be equal to 3 plus 5, that is 8, minus 6, that is 2 square root of 3 over 1 minus root of 3. So basically that is what we are going to have. So how can we simplify this now? So here you can rationalize now. Since we have 2 square root of 3 over 1 minus square root of 3, you can rationalize this. You can just multiply by the conjugate of the denominator, which will be 1, which will be 1 plus root of square root of 3 over 1 plus square root of 3. That is the conjugate, because here there was minus, it will be plus. Then 2 multiplied by 2 square root of 3 multiplied by 1, that is just 2 square root of 3. Okay, then plus 2 square root of 3, 2 square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3, that is just 2. Then square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3, that is just 3, according to the laws of Surds, which we looked at. Then this is just difference of 2 squares. 1 minus square root of 3 multiplied by 1 plus square root of 3. It is just difference of 2 squares. So we can say 1 squared minus square root of 3 what squared. Okay, so we can now simplify this. This will be equal to 2 square root of 3 plus 2 times 3, that is 6, over 1 minus square root can cancel with the power there, remain with just 2 or 3 rather. Okay, remain with 3 there. Then what are we going to have? So we're going to say we're going to have 2 square root of 3 plus 6 over 1 minus 2, that is just negative 2. Then we can separate this. So we're going to say 2 root of 3 over negative 2, then plus 6 over negative 2. Okay, so what could be the value now? So this will be equal to 2 into 2, that is just 1. So we're going to remain with negative 3, then minus, because positive divided by negative, that is just a negative, minus 6 divided by 2, that is just a 3. So that is the value. We've simplified that. Okay, we can't go any further. So that is the simplest form of that. Now let's look at a scenario whereby you are given, okay, let me take a question from 2019 exam. So this question was simplify 3 plus square root of 3. This is 2019 math 1120. Exam. So simplify 3 plus square root of 3 over square root of 3 minus 1, everything in brackets. Okay, like that. So we are taught to simplify. So the first thing, you must take this thing on the denominator. So we have square root of 3 minus 1, and it has a power of 2. You evaluate this first. So we're going to say square root of 3 squared, that is just 3. Then you multiply 2 by square root of 3, multiplied by negative 1, that is just negative 2 square root of 3. Then negative 1 squared, it will just be plus 1. So 3 plus 1, that is just 4. So it will be 4 minus 2 root of what? 3. So this is what we are going to substitute here. So that is 4 minus 2 root of 3. Then at this point now, what we can do is to multiply by a conjugate. So the conjugate there, it will be 4. You interchange the sign, it will be plus 2 root of 3 over 4 plus 2 root of what? 3. Okay, then at this point now, what we can do, we can just multiply. So we can say, let me wrap the top part there. Okay, so what we can say is 3 multiplied by 4, that is just a 12. Okay, so we have a 12 there. Okay, let me go to the next board so that I write this properly. Okay. Okay. What did I have? I had this. So I have 4, 3 square root of 3 multiplied by 4 square root of that one. Okay. So this is what I have. So what we are going to have, we have 3 plus square root of 3. Then it is multiplying by the conjugate, which is 4 plus 2 root of 3 over 4 minus 2 root of 3 multiplied by the conjugate, which is 4 plus 2 root of 3. Okay, so excuse me. So what we are going to have here is 3 by 4, that is just a 12. Then 3 by 2 square root of 3, that is just a 6 plus square root of 3. Then this is 4 by square root of 3, that is just 4 square root of 3. Then square root of 3 multiplied by 2 square root of 3, that will just be a 2. Square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3, that is just a 3. Okay? Then everything over here, we are going to use the difference of 2 squared. So it will be 4 squared minus 2 root of 3 in bracket like that squared. Okay? Clean up the top part here. So what we are going to have is 12. This 12 plus 2 times 3, that is a 6. So 12 plus 6, what we are going to have is a what? Is 18. Okay? So we're going to have 18, then plus 6 square root of 3 plus 4 square root of 3, that is just 10 square root of 3 over 4 squared, that is 16, then minus 2 squared, that is just a 4, then square root of 3 squared, that is just a 3. Okay? So let me get rid of this part. So what we have is 18 that is plus 10 square root of 3 over 16 minus 4 times 3, that is just a 12. So this will be equal to 18 plus 10 root of 3 over 16 minus 12, that should give a 4. Okay? Then we can distribute this 4 since it is the denominator. So we can distribute on the numerator. So 18 over 4, then plus 10 over 4 root of 3. So 18 divided by 4, that should give 2 into 18, that is just 9. 2 into 4, that is just a 2. Then plus 2 into 10, that is just a 5 over 2 into 4, that is just a 2. Then square root of 3. So this is our final answer. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.